Hi, my name is Nomalanga Mhlauli-Moses with HealthyBlackWoman.com and SuccessfulBlackWoman.com. Um, I just heard about a sad story, which some may have seen coming. I understand that Cynthia Bailey and Peter Thomas from the reality show Real Housewives of Atlanta are finally calling it quits on their marriage. And I have a few things to say about that. I think that there's a reason why this marriage didn't work out. I mean, granted, it has the whole celebrity thing with it, but I think there's some things that we can learn from this split. And this is for those people who really are serious or interested in how marriage works and how to make it work, and the pitfalls that you can fall into if you're not aware of certain things. I laid out four solid reasons why I believe that this marriage didn't work, and this would have been true even if this had just been a regular couple. The first reason is this couple put their business on the street. You know, I get it. They were in a reality show. They got married on during the time that she was on Housewives of Atlanta, Real Housewives of Atlanta. So the marriage started while she was on the reality show and naturally drew him into the reality show. And you know, I've seen some of Peter Thomas's interviews, and one of the things that he said is if he had to do it over again, he just wouldn't have gotten into that whole reality show thing, and he thinks that it did affect the marriage. But back to the point is putting the business on the street. I can say, you know, I'm a blogger. I do video blogs. I do written blogs. I used to be very prolific in my writing. I could write up to 5 to 10 articles a day, talking about marriage, talking about lifestyle, talking about business, talking about all kinds of things. But one thing I can tell you is that I would never go in depth and put my personal business about me and my husband into my blog post, into any social media. And again, I'm all over social media. I'm always talking, giving advice, getting advice, or sometimes just talking to engage and to connect with different people. But never in an angry moment will you hear me say something about my husband or about our marriage and put it out there on the streets, because I know for sure that that is one of the ways that you can start to really destroy your relationship. It's not because everything's great all the time. It's just wisdom that you acquire the longer that you're married. And I've been married 11 years now, which I don't think is a very long time when I compare it to the fact that my parents have been together for almost 45 years and been married for 42 almost of those years. The second thing is they were on a reality show, and I feel like they were on that reality show curse. It seems like when people go on these reality shows, the worst comes out of them, and this isn't just about marriage or husband and wife relationships. I've seen women who seemed like women who are accomplished and were business women or were actors or actresses, and it seemed that when they got on these reality shows, the worst came out of them. So if somebody takes their marriage and puts it on a reality show, I think that that subjects them to what I now call the reality show curse. The article that I read this from, which is at healthyblackwoman.com, said that Peter Thomas and Cynthia Bailey had fallen to the reality show curse, which I really believe is a real thing, whether you call it something else. The third thing is I believe that there's a saying, I didn't make it up, that you're a combination of the five people that you're around. Now, if you take Cynthia Bailey on this show, and the people she's around the most, Kenya Moore, who in the last few years that she's been on this show hasn't been able to, it seems, maintain a stable relationship. It seems like there's always men going in and out, and she seems desperate to have a relationship, have a baby, and have a marriage, but somehow something about her and her behavior and the way she conducts herself makes it that she doesn't get into the situation that she seems to so desperately desire. Then you have Portia. Her marriage was barely lasted a year when she was married to the former football player Cordell. Cordell Williams, I think was his last name. She's another one who it didn't make. She didn't make it because again they were on this reality show. The behaviors, the mindset, it just didn't make for a great marriage, and of course it fell apart. Then you have Nene Leakes, who also got divorced. I mean, down the line, her and her husband worked things out and they got married. But again, those are the people that Cynthia Bailey's around, and those are the people who are her best friends. And she actually says those are her friends, those are her girls, and she hangs out with them. And then there's Phaedra Parks, who, as soon as her husband got into a lot of trouble, decided that the marriage was over, and she divorced him too. So she's around a bunch of women who are divorced or are in these tumultuous relationships. And it's only a matter of time, if those are the people who you surround yourself with, that you become subject to the things that they're subject to. And these women are people who for whatever reason can't make their relationships and marriages work. So naturally Cynthia fell into that same pattern. So no matter how strong you are, if you surround yourself only with people that are failing at something, whether it's marriage, business, or life in general, you're going to fall into the same traps that they have fallen into. So that's her being around people who are not in stable relationships. Then the last thing was, I've seen episodes of the show Real Housewives of Atlanta, and again, like I said, they put their business out there. They kept discussing their marriage, they kept discussing their relationship, what was going wrong, and I get it. It makes for a good show and so on, but it also does affect the marriage. But the last straw that came with this couple was her husband decided to start a business somewhere else, and then they started living apart. Now, I've known of couples who can live in different places. It's usually temporary, and they fly back and forth, or they find a way of making it work. They have flexible enough schedules to exist in two different places. And again, this tends to happen with celebrities. I happen to be a person who spends some time in Botswana and then spends some time here. So I can understand how people can be in different places and things still work. But for this particular couple, they started their relationship or their marriage in this reality show, never really stabilized, and then were unstable, and then decided to live in separate places. There were rumors of infidelity. I don't know whether it's true or not, but the fact is, when you're living in different places, you don't know what the other person is up to. They don't know what you're up to. You're opening yourself up to these rumors, especially when you're in the spotlight like you are with this reality show. So they're living apart. And then also, when there are problems and you're apart from each other, they can fester for longer periods of time. You don't have time to really make that connection, and to kind of dig in there and sort those things out. And honestly, I know there's a saying that people like to say, where it says, the more apart you are, the fonder you become of each other. That may be true, but again, that has to be a small bit, and it has to be temporary. It can't be where your marriage is comprised of you being in one place and your partner's in another place, and there's problems, and you're trying to be on a reality show. I just think that's a recipe for disaster. So there you have it, guys. It sounds like this couple is, days or months away from signing the paper and walking away and pretending like it never happened. And that's a very sad thing. I hope that those of us that want our marriages and our relationships to work, could take note and don't fall into the same pitfalls. Thank you for watching. My name is Nomalanga Mhlauli-Moses, and I am from healthyblackwoman.com and Successful Black Woman. And again, you can find this article at healthyblackwoman.com, and I'll add the link in the description section. Take care, and thank you for watching.